So this is typical of what we're seeing at the moment: 4,000 to 12,000, 8,000, 11,000. It's just absolutely cracker. 7,400. What's this one? 8,799. It's just insane numbers for a bike. And like, this is a mainstream magazine, it's not a high-end magazine. 4,950. Just goes on. Okay, so you have to excuse the mess. It's absolutely hectic at the moment with the project. It's busiest it's probably ever been, especially for so early in the year before we've even hit summer in the UK. Anyway, I wanted to talk today about bike pricing. You've probably seen from that little clip at the start there, that was me just going through a mainstream cycling magazine, not a high-end elitist top-end cycling magazine, just to demonstrate the pricing of some of the bikes. And the number of times I've looked at a magazine over the last couple of months, and the cheapest bike in that magazine has been 3,000 quid. It's just insanity, and it's putting people off. We all say we want more people on bikes. That is not the way to do it. I know I've said this before, but this constant sort of, next best thing, it's all just marketing. These people have jobs, and their job is to make up something new, like an extra cog on a rear cassette, 10, 11, 12, 13, to make you buy something new. And whether that's electronic shifting, an extra cog, a lighter frame, a frame that's 0.3% more compliant than the frame you've already got, which is completely immeasurable to the average person and pointless. So all this tech is being sold to you on a Formula One level of technology. It's like going to a car sales showroom and everybody just being sold a Formula One car. Most people don't need one. Most people, it's not practical for the type of riding they're doing. They can manage with something much cheaper, more mainstream. But those things are getting lost. The entry level's getting lost. So you're losing the entry point into cycling as a whole. If people think the entry point is £3,000, then they're not going to bother. It's already a tough sell as it is, particularly road cycling or commuting, because people think it's dangerous, so if they think they've also got to spend £3,000 to even start, it's not a good thing. And like I say, the constant drive for the latest and greatest again, and now this thing with belt drive and gearboxes and all the rest of it, it's just another thing. It's just another marketing thing that makes you buy something new. And there's seems to just be no cap on bike pricing. It's just going absolutely through the roof. There was a point where those higher priced bikes, sort of 6, 7, 8, 9,000 pounds, were the electric bikes because they were new technology. But there's normal. These are not electric bikes I'm showing you the prices of in the magazines there. They're just normal pedal powered bikes, with just dripping with the latest stuff that you don't need to try and justify those massive prices. But even taking into account having the latest and greatest of everything, those prices are just absolutely crazy. £12,000 is the price of a really nice car, probably second-hand car. It's not the price that people should be looking at to pay for a bike. And someone's going to say, well, if we've got the money and we want to spend it, we will, and that's great. I'm sure they sell these high-end bikes, but it's the minority of people that are in a position to buy a bike like that. Whereas the £500 entry-level bike, which has gradually just disappeared, that's where most people start off. Most people think £500 is a lot of money to spend on a bike, and it is. But that category just seems to be fast fading away at the moment in favour of these astronomically priced bikes and a constant development of things that don't really add any value, like going from 12 to 13 or 10 to 11 speed even doesn't add a massive deal of value to your riding experience. And it's the same with a lot of this technology. It's literally marketing. People are paid to come up with things that will make you have to upgrade your bike, because now your 12 speed bike is outdated because it's a 13 speed version. And And yeah, at some point there has to be some sense, there has to be some kind of line drawn. um, at the most expensive bikes now are already over £12,000, and they're, you know, unless you're a pro racer, even a pro racer doesn't need to race at that on that level of bike. It's just absolute insanity for the sake of it at the moment, and someone needs to grab it and look at it and think, right, what are we going to do for the people who are just starting out, the entry level, the mid level, you know, between £500 to £1,000, that category of bike is just disappearing at the moment. There's nothing in that category, and what you do get in that category is way less than you would have got 18 months, 2 years ago. Way less in terms of spec and weight and everything else. Yeah, it needs to be looked at, you know. And there's a place where, this is why these Chinese brands are jumping in now with cheap electronic group sets and things, because there's that huge price can be undercut. You know, £3,000 for a group set, and they can produce a £350 or £400 one by electronic mountain bike group set for you. It's it's just, there's no sense or consideration of the entry level. It just all seems to be geared towards selling this Formula One level of bike, where most people just want your MX5, you know, Master MX5 level of bike, something a bit sporty that'll do everything and good value for money. Let me know what you think about bike pricing. I'm in the UK and it's crazy here. What's it like where you are? Are things up? Are things down? And where do you see the entry level now for people starting the sport fresh?